In the forests of Madagascar roams a dangerous mongoose-like creature that feeds on any animal it can get its dagger-like claws into. It hunts day and night depending on mood or circumstance, creeps up on its prey from the tallest trees headfirst, and will not hesitate to release a stinky smell when irritated or frightened. This creature is the fossa. According to legend, it may lick you while you sleep, causing you to fall into a deep trance. Then it will eviscerate your defenseless body. Welcome to Wild Biosphere, where we explore the wildest species on the planet. In this video, we will talk about Madagascar's top and most vicious predator, the fossa. From the fossa's lightning-fast movements and powerful jaws to its incredible climbing abilities and sleek appearance, there is no denying that this animal is a force to be reckoned with. Like, subscribe, and let's learn everything about one of the most unique predators in the animal kingdom. First off, let us talk about the fossa's general lifestyle. So you might know Madagascar as that tiny island country next to the larger African continent. But did you know it is home to some of the wildest, most unusual animals? Among them is the fossa, the biggest and most ferocious predator on the island. Related to the mongoose, the fossa is the only mammal that can successfully hunt the largest lemur species on the island. In terms of appearance, the fossa resembles a little brown cougar, but it's not actually a cat. The only thing it shares with cats is its incredible power and speed. But perhaps what's really cool about fossas is that they're just as comfortable climbing trees as they are running on the ground. They also have semi-retractable claws, which are always out enough for them to climb up and down trees with ease. And their flexible ankles allow them to sprint up and down trees in pursuit of their prey. They have double-jointed ankles like a squirrel, allowing them to move around with total control, even when plunging headfirst. One of the things that sets them apart is their tail, which is almost the same length as the animal. When they're on the ground, they walk just like a cat with their tail extended straight behind them. But when they're leaping from branch to branch, they use their tail like a rudder to help steer them in the right direction. In their natural environment in Madagascar, which has mountains, vegetation, grass, rocks, and plenty of shade, they can even do some pretty impressive monkey-like leaps. Fossas are fascinating-looking creatures, kind of like a cross between a cat and a weasel. They can get up to about 20 pounds and grow to be around 2.5 feet long, but if you include their tail, they can be almost 6 feet long in total. One of the things that sets them apart is their sharp, large canines. They can catch prey on the ground and up in the trees and are specialists in their ecosystem. In fact, they're only found in Madagascar's deep, untouched forests. Fossas are part of the cat family and can run up to 30 miles per hour. Their long, limber bodies are designed for running and have strong rear legs that allow them to make long leaps. But they're not just fast, they're also excellent climbers and swimmers. They'll often climb trees to chase after food, and they can swim long distances if needed. When hunting, fossas rely on their speed and agility to take down even the largest prey animals on the island. The fossa's main source of prey is the lemur, those beautiful primates that live up in the trees. The fossa's tail is also invaluable when it comes to hunting. It is long tail and helps them balance while jumping from branch to branch in pursuit of their prey. Moving ahead, what have studies revealed so far? Now this might surprise you, but scientists still have a lot to learn about how fossas behave. The fossa's scientific name is Cryptoprocta ferox, with the genus name Cryptoprocta being inspired by how its anus is concealed by an anal pouch. It comes from the Greek for hidden, crypto, and anus, procta. The fossa's species name, ferox, refers to its exaggerated reputation for ferocity. The fossa has features in common with 3 different families of carnivores: Herpestidae, mongooses; Viverridae, civettes and their relatives; and Felidae, cats. Now, despite being such fascinating animals, studying fossas can be pretty challenging. Madagascar is far away and relatively well-forested, and fossas prefer to live in undisturbed forests. This makes it difficult to get to the areas where they live to study them. And when you do get there, the densities of fossas are very low. There can be only one fossa every 4 square kilometers. But there's a silver lining. Scientists have actually discovered remains of the extinct giant fossa on the island of Madagascar. These creatures were huge, around 20 feet long. Another thing studies have since revealed is that these animals are expert predators who can take down prey much bigger than themselves. Their keen sense of smell, which they use to find food and potential mates, also sets them apart. Normally, fossas live for around 10 years, although in captivity, they've been known to live up to 20 years. Let us now talk about fossas mating and reproduction. Just to clear something out, for a long time, People thought that fossas were only active at night because they were so difficult to find in the wild. But recent research has shown that they can hunt during the day too, depending on their mood or the conditions. These guys can travel up to 26 kilometers in a day and don't really hang out with others outside of breeding season. Even though they usually mate in September or October, there have been reports of them getting together as late as December. In captivity, they tend to breed during the northern spring, which is between March and July. When it's time to mate, they do it about 20 meters off the ground on sturdy, wide tree limbs close to a body of water. Sometimes they'll mate on the ground, and up to 8 males can be present, all competing for the female's attention. It seems like the female gets to pick the lucky guy, and the males get pretty competitive with each other. Most of what we know about their reproduction comes from observing populations in dry deciduous woods in the western region. Scream and yell to compete with each other for her attention. They might also roar to threaten or defend themselves in certain situations. Fossa puppies start purring at around 4 weeks old and are raised by their mothers on their own without any help. They're entirely dependent on their mom for the first 8 months of their lives, during which they stay in the den and emit a high-pitched sound called mulling to get her attention. It takes about 2 years for a fossa to mature, after which they usually go off on their own to find their own territory. Let's now briefly touch on the fossa's status as an endangered species. So unfortunately, habitat degradation and increased hunting pressure threaten the survival of these amazing animals. As we speak, efforts are being made to conserve this unique species and ensure they're around for generations to come. It's worth noting that fossas are currently listed as an endangered species, and the International Union for Conservation of Nature keeps track of this on its red list. In 2015, the fossa population was evaluated, and it was found that the species is vulnerable despite having a large range. The main reason behind the declining population of fossas is the destruction of their habitat in Madagascar due to logging and cultivation. This has made it difficult for fossas to find food, and they have resorted to preying on domestic animals like chickens, which has caused conflict with farmers. As a result, they are sometimes considered a nuisance or even a deadly animal and are targeted for removal or killed for their meat. Sadly, the IUCN predicts that the fossa population will continue to decrease by 30% in the next 3 generations. However, fossas have been successfully bred in captivity and can be seen in zoos in Europe and North America. It's essential to raise awareness about the plight of this unique and fascinating species and work towards protecting their habitat to ensure their survival in the wild. Now, what do you think about the fossa? What makes it interesting to you? Let me know in the comments section below. While at it, like, subscribe, and share widely. Remember to turn on notifications to get alerts for future videos. Thanks for watching.